Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday! So first things first. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, please. I will Venmo you $1. For real.
Nobody's taken you up on that offer yet.
I know, and I'm very serious about it. So, if you want $1, hit me up on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think of some updates we have this week.
Updates.
Well, nothing too exciting.
No, we're boring.
Yeah. So some random things. I am starting a scrapbook.
Oh,
so if anybody has any scrapbooking tips, let me know, I guess.
I have a lot. I use a scrapbook. I've made probably like 10, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot.
Oh, yeah, no, that is a lot. I got like a bunch of pictures printed from 2020 and like half of this year. Well, it's only half of this year.
Yeah.
So far. So I basically only have the pictures right now. I sorted them.
It costs so much money because you gotta have like cool like paper and stickers and like fun things to put on there.
I mean, honestly though, we have a lot of random supplies around the house, so
yeah, that's good.
I might be set.
That's solid. I can't wait to see it. Am I gonna be in it?
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, you're all over it.
Yay! I'm the star.
Yeah, basically. I can make you the star.
Yay.
Just write Taylor on the front.
Yeah, Taylor scrapbook. Love
that. I guess another thing, we are going on a camping trip.
We're going on a trip. I'm so excited. We're gonna have real campfire vibes, guys. Happy 4th of July. We're going camping, and I'm so excited. I am so excited.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to Georgia, and we're gonna meet my aunt. My aunt down there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I hope something scary happens to us.
Oh, I know.
So we can say something on the podcast.
Yeah, you gotta bring your ghost stories. Bring a story to tell.
Okay.
Nothing too scary though, because my little cousins will be there.
Yeah. I'll have to find a good one then. It's gonna be so fun though. I'm so excited. Hope something scary happens to us so we can report back.
Oh, definitely.
We got Assistant Juju in the office here today. Hopefully he's not too bad. But every time I say that, I feel like he's so bad. So we'll just knock on some wood. But that's all the intro topics I have, which were none.
Yeah, I know. I came with all the topics today.
Yeah, see, I had one. Like, I found a good TikTok. We were going to talk about it, and then I lost the TikTok. Does that happen to anybody else? Let me know, because I feel like it's just me.
No, that happens to me all the time. Like, even if you like it, you go back to your likes and you can never find it again.
I know. Oh my gosh. A little bit of a tangent. I was listening to Emma Chamberlain's podcast, and she deleted TikTok and hasn't been on it for 2 weeks. And she was talking about how, like, it's changed her life. And I'm like, that could never be me. I'm way too obsessed.
Yeah, I feel like it would probably be so beneficial, though, to do that.
Oh, I think so. Well, honestly, I don't know. Well, no, it would be. But it would also be very detrimental to me because it's really one thing that brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess the whole point is, like, finding something else that has joy. But, like, what? Nothing. No, just kidding.
Your short attention span.
Yeah, it's bad. It was already bad before TikTok, but not gonna end it now.
Oh, also, go follow our TikTok. We have a TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of. It's, what is it? Myth Podcast?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's linked in the show notes if you need.
Yes, should be.
Handle. So, anyways, you want to go ahead and start your story for this week, Savannah?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this week I'm doing the Kuldhara Village.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so this is a village in India.
Oh, okay.
And it's sort of a mystery, and there's somewhat of like ghost stuff involved. So
love that.
Let me get started. Okay, so Kuldhara Village. It's like an abandoned village in India near Jalsmere. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that
don't
somewhat
ask me.
correctly.
We all know. We're not the ones to
Yes.
go to for the pronunciation.
Right. So that's like the major city it's near. And it's like a tourist attraction now, but the whole thing behind it is how did it get abandoned, you know?
Oh, okay, cool.
It is supposedly cursed and it could be haunted.
Dun dun dun.
So let's get into some of the history of it. It was established in the 13th century. And all of the things that I read said that it was established by Paliwal Brahmins, which I was like, what is that?
I was just gonna say I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, so I guess Paliwal is a surname.
Oh.
So I don't know if they all had that name or like a lot of them did, or I don't know. But Brahmin is a class. So in India they have like a rigid caste system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's one thing people know about India.
Yeah.
And this is like one of their classes, and it includes like priests and teachers.
Oh, okay.
So this is like the most respected class.
Okay, cool.
So
Interesting that like teachers are the most respected in India and like the least respected in the United States.
yeah, really. Yeah. I also like, I guess that's still how it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long these caste systems have been around, but I guess
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I would
still
assume
the
it's
same
the same.
since back then.
Mm-hmm. It probably is, but I don't know. Don't quote me.
I know, me either. But at least back then, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So this was also the largest village in a community of like 84 villages.
Oh. Cool.
And there were over 1,500 people. There were about 400 houses, and then 200 buildings on like the outskirts of the village too. So it was pretty big,
Mm-hmm.
and full of these priests and teachers and like just these people like with that vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they centered around a temple of the mother goddess, which was a
Oh.
goddess of like nature and earth.
Oh, I love that.
I know, like the vibes of this little village sound so great.
They
Like, I
really
would
do.
go live there.
Okay, Juju, plan this next visit. I'm trying to go to the abandoned town.
I mean, honestly, right now, I've seen the pictures of it. It doesn't really look too good now, but back in the day,
Well.
it seemed like it was awesome. The remains of the city, it shows that there was like a wall on the north and south sides. And they even had they had 3 cremation grounds, which is interesting.
3? I feel like it wasn't that big.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it
People
was
must have been
pretty
dying
big.
a lot.
Yeah. And they had like several memorial stones. So I guess since they're not burying their people, they're cremating them. They
Yeah.
have these like memorial stones with like engraved names.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
And 2 people were inscribed on the stones that I guess these are the ones that they could read. And they died in around 1235 and 1238. So it's like pretty long time ago.
1235. I cannot even fathom that number.
I
of
know.
time. That is
I
so
know.
long ago.
Right. So yeah, these people lived there for centuries.
Wow.
And then one night it was around 1825, they all
Dang,
just
that's
left.
a long time.
I know, since the 1200s to the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah, but one night they just left.
After all those years, they were just like, well, leave it in the dust.
Exactly, and this cute little village, I just described it all. It seems great,
Yeah.
but they all just vanished.
Wait, they didn't even just leave. They were nowhere to be seen?
Pretty much. But people, all those things I read said that they left, but they pretty much vanished.
What?
So nobody knows for sure why they left or where they really went.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people.
I know. There are some theories, though.
Oh.
And there's actually, the first one is sort of, I guess it is a theory on why they left, but it's also the legend of why.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what people think. There was this government official named Salim Singh, and actually, fun fact, Salim or Zalim with a S or a Z. I've seen it with both. I don't know. It means cruel or wicked.
Oh no.
So this is a bad guy.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he was like super powerful, and he built a tower to live in that was like even higher than the chiefs or the kings or whoever was
rude.
the leader of this village. So he was like, I'm even more powerful than you are, you know.
Yeah.
He actually like, he was like a government official. He collected taxes and stuff. People didn't like him. And the king slash chief, he didn't like this guy either. And he tried to get him to like leave, but he was too powerful and had all these people working for him, and he could like get away with anything he wanted to do. So
What?
even the leader couldn't get him out.
So sad.
So he ended up raising taxes really high.
This man sucks.
I know, he really does. He tortured the village. That's, yeah, really bad. And he said that he wanted the chief's daughter.
Wait, so when was this guy there?
This is towards the end of the...
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so like the 1800s. Yeah, so he wanted the chief's daughter. He wanted to marry her.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And he said if they didn't give her to him, like if the town didn't give her to him, he would attack the village and kidnap her.
This man is horrible.
I know. So he sent out his guards to go and get her. It's like, hand her over, you know? And he's like, you gotta give her to me by the morning. So the village couldn't let him have her, obviously. Because he's evil. And another reason is because, like, it's such a rigid caste system, and he was, like, even though he was powerful, he was technically a lower class than them.
Yeah. Gotta marry within your class.
Yeah, exactly. So they were like, absolutely not, you can't have this girl. So they left in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay, so that's the theory? That's why they left? Okay.
Because he wanted her by morning, so they're like, alright, we're just gonna leave then.
We're bouncing. You won't see us in the morning.
Exactly. So they left in the middle of the night, and they left a curse on the village so that nobody could ever live there ever again.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was their land for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense to me.
So one version says that 83 other villages were also abandoned overnight. But, like, there wasn't much more on that, so I don't really know where that came from.
Yeah.
Or, like, what the reason of that is. But maybe that happened. Yeah, so nobody knows really where they went, but they escaped him. So that's good.
Yeah, it was the other way.
And this village now stands as sort of like a symbol to like stand against crimes on women.
Well, we love that.
But also this is sort of the opposite of that. Some versions of the story say that the village sacrificed the girl to Salim and then left.
No, okay, what?
And
Why?
now she haunts the village.
No, that cannot be what happened.
Yeah, so I really hope that they left with her, you know?
I mean, why? See, here's my reasoning why I feel like they left with her. Because why would they leave if they gave her up? Because that's all he wanted.
Right. No, right.
So.
Like, maybe just because he was, like...
evil.
He was, charging them super high taxes.
Yeah, that's true.
But... I don't know.
But I'm gonna go with that she left, because I cannot bear to think that they just sacrificed her and then still left.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another theory that sort of goes along with this, that there was an invasion. And I guess it could have been Salim and his, like, people, or just random invaders that came in and like poisoned the water supply during a festival.
No.
And then people decided to just leave in the middle of the night to get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another theory.
Yeah, there's a common theme going on here.
Yeah, and there's some other theories that don't really go along with this, so I'll get to those ones too. Yeah, so there's two other theories that seem more in a line with science and not just like a story.
Okay.
So one of them is that there was an earthquake.
Oh.
So scientists say that there is evidence of an earthquake happening there, because there are several major faults.
That's what I was going to ask, if there were faults there.
And signs of tectonic movement. So, and there's also like collapsed walls and pillars and like houses that look like they fell over. So it looks like an earthquake came through.
Interesting.
But, I mean, if it really was an earthquake, why did nobody go back to the village?
True. I mean, could they have died? I mean, not all of them could have died. Or maybe they found a better place.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like, you know what, we've been here for like 1,000 years. I'm bored. Let's go somewhere else.
No, yeah, that could be it. Some reasons some people have come up with as to like why nobody came back is that there's like a rumor that it was cursed. And maybe that's why the earthquake happened.
Oh, yeah.
And of course that it was haunted, so nobody wanted to live there because it was haunted. So there's that.
Haunted
and
by
the
what?
other, what did you say?
Haunted by what? They're just in general haunted?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, okay.
I guess the people who died in the earthquake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I would say. And the last theory is that there was scarcity of water.
Oh.
So it's sort of, the pictures make it look like it's in the middle of the desert.
I was gonna ask, were they near water at all?
And there was water when the village started.
Oh, so maybe
But
they drank
over
it.
time, it sort of started to dry up. So in 1815, most of the water had actually dried up by then. And then in 1850, only 3 wells still had water. And in 1990, there was only stagnant water in like a dried up riverbed.
Oh, so maybe they really were just like, yo, we're running low on the water. We got to move somewhere else.
Yeah, they're like, we're just leaving.
Yeah, we don't need it. Forget about it.
Just packed it all up and left.
That's so weird, though. I mean, I feel like that probably makes the most sense. But why not tell anybody? You know?
Yeah.
Or leave any kind of trace behind, like, hey, there's no water here. We're bouncing.
I mean, do they need to tell somebody?
I mean, I guess not, but, like, I don't know. Like, what, they thought nobody would ever roll upon this scene and be like, I wonder where all these people went.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they should have left a note.
They definitely should have
left a sticky note on somebody's door.
Just left a diary, like, on the table in there, in one of the, like, collapsed houses.
Right, like, oh, we left. We went over here to this village.
Yeah, haha, peace out. Hope you enjoy our haunted village with no water.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so actually, let me get into the ghosty part of it.
Yes.
So people actually say, like, when they walk through there, they can hear women's bangles jingling.
Ooh,
So, you know, those bracelets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have had many a bangle in my life.
Yeah. I think they are, like, Indian. Like, they started in India,
Oh,
right?
for sure. For sure.
So, yeah, you can hear bangles jingling even when there's nobody around wearing them.
Yeah.
You can hear women laughing.
What?
Love how it's all the ladies
Yeah,
just
we
walking
do.
around.
I mean, it was like a very, like, women, didn't they worship like a woman god?
Yeah, you're right. True. Oh, and then somebody said, like, in one of the articles I read, they said that when you go there, it just feels sad.
Oh, That's sad. That makes me really want to know what happened.
I know. See, but this guy said that it feels sad, but then some other people said that it's like, it's not like that at all. So I guess it depends on how you are thinking about it, and like.
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna have to go and tell you guys how it feels to us, the trusted experts.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, and then apparently the locals do not believe any of the stories, and they only say that it's haunted so that tourists will come.
Now that makes the most sense out of anything you've said.
Yeah.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I believe the locals, but also, I mean, if I lived right near something like that, I would probably do the same thing and not believe it, right?
I mean, yeah, like, you don't want to believe that you're living somewhere haunted. So, I get it.
Yeah, so it still could be.
Could be either way.
There was a paranormal society that went to this location.
Ooh.
It was the Paranormal Society of New Delhi. They went there and they said that they encountered a few scary things. So like some moving shadows, voices, footprints in the mud, and scratches on their cars.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. They sound more convincing than the locals, you know?
Yeah. Maybe the local just, like, they want tourists, but, like, not a lot of tourists, you know?
Right.
Like, they want to make the money, but they're not, like, everybody from Ghost Adventures and Ghost, all these TV shows. Like, we don't want y'all over here.
Yeah,
But, like,
exactly.
just bring a little bit of money in.
Yeah. So there's this other fact I threw in here, which is like, it's just like a weird thing that happened there. I feel like it doesn't have too much to do with the story, but a movie was being shot there, like in the village, and the production team like defaced the property like a lot.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Like apparently they got some sort of permission, but then they were like, they realized, oh, we weren't really supposed to do that, and then they got fined a whole bunch of money.
Like, anybody with any common sense wouldn't, like, deface property of somewhere that might be haunted, might have a weird history, nobody knows where these people went to, like, maybe you shouldn't mess with their things.
No, but do you want to hear what they did to it, though?
Yeah, it's probably gonna make me angry.
Well, since this was in India, I guess that's sort of what movie they were going for. I don't remember what movie it was, because I think it didn't even end up becoming a movie.
Wow, that's even worse.
So they wrote Taliban symbols all over the walls and stuff.
No.
And Urdu words. I don't really know what that is. And they put cow dung on the walls to make it look rustic.
Oh, that is that's disrespectful, even if there wasn't like a weird mystery here.
Yeah, I know, it really is.
Like, I would be mad, like, if I just imagine, like, me passed on in another realm and somebody is throwing some cow doodoo on my walls of my old house, I would be so upset.
Exactly. I know. So the tourists, they got really mad, and so did the archaeological department or society, which, of course, obviously. So these people who were making this movie, they got fined, and they had to pay to restore it. Well, and it only took them like 3 days to restore it, but
still,
what
made them think that was a good idea in the first place?
I know, no, exactly. So yeah, that was a fact. So now this place is protected as an archaeological site.
Good.
And tourism there started around 2015.
Oh wow, that's very like recent.
I know. Yeah. They are currently like renovating a lot of the stuff there and building stuff, so it's more of like a destination, you know? They're building like a cafe, cottages so you can stay overnight,
Ooh,
and other tourist buildings.
that's
And I
really
think
cool.
where I read that might have been a few years ago, so there might
Oh, it might already
be
be there.
some now. Yeah, I don't know.
We should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I recently got a passport and I would like to go somewhere.
I don't have a passport.
Well, get
I
one
need
so
to
we can
get one.
go.
Oh, and there's also a Jurassic cacti park.
No way.
Yeah, it was
That's cool.
established there in 2006.
Okay,
So I
that's
guess the
really cool.
tourism started then. I don't know.
Yeah, this place I want to go even more now.
Yeah, I would go for the cacti park. That seems
Same.
cool. Because like it's in the middle of the desert. They just
Yeah, is
have
it
a
like
bunch
from the
of...
Jurassic period?
I guess so.
That's crazy.
So that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I also wanted to mention this story reminds me of the Croatoan story.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like at least they left a note on a tree.
True. Yeah, they said Croatoan.
Yeah.
But like they actually had somebody to tell though.
I mean, you're telling me not one person needed to know where any of these people went?
Well, they probably went together and they're like, we're just gonna go.
I guess. But it's so hard to believe. Also, I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I could never think about that today.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think it was this evil guy, Salim, or do you think it was like more of a natural disaster type thing?
I want to say it was the evil guy, but I think that they ran out of water.
Yeah,
And maybe
that's
an
kind
earthquake as well.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a little
like
bit of everything, maybe?
I know, like both.
Mm-hmm.
All three.
Yeah. There's like, you know what? This is it. That's the third time's a charm. We got to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
think. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's just weird that like a lot of them they like left at the same time, you know.
I just feel like it's so weird. I feel like it's so there's just like no record of anybody that was in this place.
No, I think like the locals say that nobody has ever lived there. So they're like as they can remember, you know.
Yeah. That is just so hard to believe. Like, where could they have gone? Like, there isn't like historical research like, oh, one day, all of a sudden in the 1800s, a large group of people showed up in this random place.
I think it's just this story that got passed down about this evil guy who like ruined the village,
Yeah.
ran them out.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me if that's what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Happened a lot back then.
Did
Happens
it?
now. Maybe. I don't know. I keep just thinking back to like Mulan.
Yeah. For
Oh.
some reason, I get that.
Yeah. Because what's his name? He was so evil.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was a whole different thing. But that's
Yeah,
my
it
favorite
was.
Disney movie, so that's what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. Wait, so you said you had pictures of this place?
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see them. If you want to see them, go check out our Instagram. We'll post them along with the episode.
It's all like pretty much the same color, you know, like brown.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure. But I'm so excited
Like
to see.
sandy brown.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though. Some of the buildings look really cool, and some of the ones that they restored look awesome. Like yeah, I would go visit, but also I don't know if I'll ever. I mean, maybe I'll go to India someday, but
Savannah, we're gonna go.
okay.
We have to go.
All right. It's on our list.
Yeah, Juju, write it down. I think Juju might be asleep, but what else is new? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
All right,
crazy.
so-
That bothers me so bad, though. Like, I know this is called mysteries, myths, and legends, and like mystery is a big part of it. But like, I hate a mystery that isn't solved.
I know.
Like, I need the answer so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also, I feel like a possibility that you didn't mention, like, it probably didn't happen. But like, what if everybody just died?
I mean, I don't think they found that many bodies.
Well, yeah, that's true. That it's just so hard for me to grasp. Like, where did they go? Or like, somebody has to be an ancestor of these people living today.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're right. Like, wouldn't
that
they
wasn't that
tell
long ago.
everybody?
I don't know. I just want answers, and answers that I will never get.
Mm-hmm.
Tragic. Well, this week I don't have a mystery. I have a legend for you.
Ooh.
And since we're going to Georgia, we're not going where this is, but I just wanted to do a Georgia story since we're going to Georgia.
Okay.
So I am doing The Legend of the Ellis Hotel. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I hadn't either. And like literally somehow I just like stumbled across this story, like looking, I was just like Georgia stories, scary. And I like looked to see, I always look and see like how many other podcasts cover the stories that I'm going to do, because I just want to know like how well it's already been covered or whatever. And
Right.
literally like one podcast that did it. So
Oh, jeez.
I was like, that's cool for me. So let's just get into it. So the Ellis Hotel opened in 1913, but it was originally called the Weinkauf Hotel. So technically everything that went down that I'm going to tell you, it went down in the Weinkauf Hotel. And then like today, when they recently reopened it, they called it the Ellis Hotel.
Right. Okay. When did they rename it?
Let me look. They renamed it.
Like really recently?
Yeah, in 2006.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So almost 100 years later, they renamed
Did they
it.
rename it because of all the stuff that went down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
Awesome.
Yeah, we love that. We sure do. So, okay, this hotel is located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been to Atlanta, and I'm like, how have I never heard of this before?
I've never actually been to Atlanta.
It's really crazy. Let me tell you, the traffic, oh my goodness. Literally, tangent. We were going there for one of my birthdays to go to Busch Gardens, and we were 2 miles away from our hotel. And do you want to know how long it took us to get those 2 miles?
Oh no.
3.5 hours.
Oh no. You could have walked.
Literally, I could have walked. It was just such a bad situation. It was like a baseball game night, and so everybody was like getting out, so it was just a bad situation.
Yeah.
But anyways, so in 2009, this hotel was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So she's
Ooh,
protected
okay.
nowadays. And it was a beautiful 15-story hotel that was advertised like a lot as being absolutely fireproof. So foreshadowing,
Okay.
just a little bit.
Is this like how the Titanic was unsinkable?
What is so funny that you mentioned that is that this is called the Titanic of hotels.
I mean, I can see the connection there.
Yeah. So, yes, in December 1946, the hotel was completely booked all the way to capacity with Christmas shoppers, families in town to see the new premiere of this like new Disney movie, Song of the South. If you've ever heard of it.
Oh, jeez. Song of the South.
Yes, it was coming out, and everybody was like, we have to go into the
That
city to see it.
That awful problematic movie that got like banned from Disney, or it got locked in the vault. didn't
Yep,
it?
sure did. So, what a lovely start to this story is that. So,
Yeah.
and
seriously.
also at the hotel. So, not only, it was like near Christmas, so everybody was coming into town, because this is Atlanta in the early 1900s. Like, you know, there's not like malls everywhere at this point. So,
Right.
everybody was coming into downtown. And there was also a large group of Georgia high school students in town for a mock legislative session. So basically, this hotel was poppin'. Literally not an empty room in sight. So in the early morning of Saturday, December 7th, 1946, a fire broke out in the hotel. And
Oh no.
I mean, you know, when a hotel catches on fire, that's really dangerous because there's so many people to get out, especially one that's at full capacity. So it's already scary in general. Well, this fire turned into, to this very day, the most deadliest hotel fires in the United States history.
Oh my god. And in the hotel that claimed to be
In the
fireproof.
fireproof hotel. Yes. So the fire took 119 people's lives that night. And that might not sound like too many, but there were a total of 304 guests. So over half, almost over half, it took the lives of. So, and 65 people survived with severe injuries. So, like it like really took out like most people.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
which is so scary because fire is like really one of my biggest fears. And I say that a lot, but fire really does scare me bad. So, the problem with this fire was that it was started on the 3rd floor in the west hallway. And so when the fire starts so low, you have to think about it was 15 stories. So like,
oh geez,
the people at the top were just screwed. Like, once the fire broke out, they couldn't go down but to the 4th floor.
They didn't have like a fire escape or anything?
No, it was fireproof. Why would they need a fire escape?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the fire was first noticed around 3:15 a.m. by a bellboy who had gone up to the 5th floor to help a guest, and then he realized he was trapped on the 5th floor.
I don't understand how they thought it was fireproof.
Well, I'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
But so the first and only call that was made to the fire department was at 3:42 a.m. by a night manager. And weirdly enough, no building alarm ever went off. So they were trying to like contact the guest one by one, calling each room from the lobby, being like, "There's a fire, like get out." Like, so they really didn't think a fire was ever going to be a problem because like the alarms didn't work. They didn't even call the police. They were like, "No, there's not going to be a fire here." Well, they were very wrong. So tragically, I mean, it's like 3 a.m. Most people are asleep at this time, and they didn't get the calls to escape. So when they woke up to like this raging fire, they were trying everything they could to get out of the building, but they realized like the lower levels are burning. We're on the 14th floor. Like, what am I supposed to do? And so they were desperate, and they didn't want to just sit around and wait to be burned to death. So they were throwing themselves off the higher floors of the hotel. And this is really, really sad because a lot of people there were families, and they were like, I mean, we could jump or we could burn. Regardless, we're going to die. So some people were pushing their children off the balconies and out of the windows, and then they would jump right after them.
Oh, no.
That's really, really
I mean, what
sad.
would you do?
I mean, I would try to, like, MacGyver some way out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, like,
Yeah, honestly, I would too.
yeah.
But if you really couldn't,
But if I
then
really couldn't, I
might
would
just
jump. Yeah, if I really couldn't, I'm not sitting there burning. So.
Yeah, so like I get where these people are coming from. That's
no, me
just,
too. And there was
it's
no
awful,
way.
though.
There was no way for them to get out. So as sad as it is, like I don't blame them for that. So, but I can't imagine how scary that must have been for the people. Like, because some people did get out, and so imagine like you being one of the lucky few getting out of this hotel, and you're outside watching this hotel burn, and you just see kids and people jumping out to their deaths. It must have been just so traumatic. So, fun fact, actually really, really sad fact, Arnold Hardy was a 24-year-old graduate student at Georgia Tech, and he became the first amateur to win a Pulitzer Prize in photography for his snapshot of a woman mid-air jumping off the 11th floor during the fire.
Oh, no.
So, that's really sad. But
Okay, that is both a fun fact and a sad fact.
But I can make it a more fun fact because the jumper was Daisy McCumber, who was 41 years old, and although she sustained multiple broken bones and eventually had to get her leg amputated, she survived.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. She did later die, obviously, but
Well, I mean,
a long time
does.
after, in 1992. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so she had to amputate her leg, which sucks, but she survived. So there were some survivors, at least. At least one good story, and at least that man didn't win that prize off of a dead person. So
Right.
you know, there's a little good news. So sadly, the ladders that the firefighters brought and like had on the trucks would only reach the 8th floor. So like they were able to grab some people, but like 9 to 15, if you were on those floors, there's nothing you can do. So that was really sad. So the fire department, they had literally brought out 385 firefighters, 22 engine companies, and 11 ladder trucks to this hotel to try to save as many people as they could. That is a lot of firefighters. Like, Like, I can't even think of another situation other than 9/11 where I have ever heard of that many being called out to a scene. So,
Yeah, that's
it was really
crazy.
serious.
That's probably all of the
All of them.
firefighters
Yeah, like, it
in
had
the
to be.
area.
Like, so crazy. So, and they tried all night long to put out the fire to save as many people as they could. And so that is just real
Yeah.
sad.
Do you know, like, the I feel like it is divided by like class, right? Like were the richer people at the top?
Oh, I don't
Do you
know.
know?
No, I actually don't know that.
Because isn't it a thing that like at hotels now, like the fancy rooms are at the top?
Well, yeah, I guess that is the truth. So, I guess the richer people might have been the ones to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's
I
one
don't
thing to
know.
think about
Maybe
when going
that's
to a
like the
hotel.
opposite of the Titanic, right?
Yeah, it is in that way.
Jeez.
Yes, so as we already know, all the news and media called this tragedy the Titanic on Peachtree because it
Mm-hmm.
was on Peachtree Street in
Right.
Atlanta. So yes, so this fire, along with another hotel fire in the, I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna try, the LaSalle or LaSalle Hotel, which was another big hotel fire, but not as big as this one. It had a big impact on hotel fire codes. And so, like, it actually changed, those two fires changed the way hotels have to run, like, fire safety protocols today.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's at least good. Even though all those people had to die for that to happen, at least, we know a little bit more how to be safe nowadays
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
So, but the fire department or whatever, they were very angry about this claim this hotel was like completely fireproof. They were known for that. And so, what's funny, not funny, very ironic. So, the building itself, the outside building, was actually fireproof. It
Okay.
did not burn. But the middle, the combustible interior, was what burned. So,
Yeah, I
I
mean that
mean,
makes sense. Like obviously like carpet and stuff is not gonna be
yeah,
fireproof.
so technically it was fireproof if you're talking about the building itself, like falling to the
Mm-hmm.
ground, but not the middle, the important part. So, yeah. Um, so it was rumored that a local criminal named the Candyman had set fire to this hotel on purpose. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me pause this. Juju just lit his tail on fire. Okay, so we're back. What you did just hear at the end of that was Juju jumping on my desk and lighting his tail on fire with the candle that I had lit on my desk. So that's a little bit ironic that we're just sitting here talking about fire. But
Yeah,
he's
but
fine.
he's okay
Yeah,
though, right?
he's
Just a
fine.
little bit on the tail.
Yeah, he's dumb. He does that all the time. So like we really have to watch him when we have candles lit cuz he's very fluffy, very hairy, so he doesn't really know sometimes like his distance from the flame. But no, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I put it out immediately, so don't
Right.
worry about him. He's just dumb. But anyway, what I was saying was that people were wondering how the fire started. So obviously there was an investigation, and it was rumored that a local criminal named the Candyman had set fire to the hotel on purpose.
And
So
what year did you say this was?
the fire was 1946.
Okay, yeah. See, that seems like the Candyman would be around then. Like,
Exactly. So we're gonna go on a small tangent here, a little two
such
for
a big
one BOGO buy one get one deal because I wanted to do an episode on the Candyman, but the story is just really short, so I'm just gonna insert it in here right now because it's in the story a little bit. So
Okay.
the legend of the Candyman tells the story of a slave who was brutally murdered and returns from the dead to seek revenge if you say his name 5 times in a mirror. Very similar to Bloody Mary.
Oh, geez, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I know you don't like horror movies, but there's like a lot of horror movies about the Candyman.
It
Yeah.
just seems like the Candyman sounds like an old-timey villain.
Yeah. It's true. So the reason okay, let me just give you the backstory of the real Candyman ghost. So, well, actually, before I do that, in 1992, the Candyman, the original movie, came out, and it ended up getting 2 sequels. It's very popular. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it, at least. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. You're not into horror movies.
Yeah,
like I am.
that's probably it. I'm just not into that stuff, so I don't know a lot of those.
That's so crazy. Well, they're remaking it this year,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm been excited to watch it. But so the Candyman was a real man named Daniel Robitaille. We know I can't pronounce things, so sorry. But he worked on a plantation in New Orleans, and he was a talented painter and was chosen by his slave owner to paint a portrait of his daughter because he was like a very talented painter.
Okay.
But as Daniel was painting her, he fell in love with her.
Oh.
Obviously, that did not end well for him. And when his owner found out about his daughter's relationship with a slave, because she liked him back, but they did not think that was okay back in the day.
Right.
So the owner raised an angry mob and chased Daniel out of town. And when they finally caught him, the mob and the owner got Daniel, cut off his right hand with a rusty saw, covered him in honey, and threw him into a beehive. Yeah, so
no.
he's called the Candyman because he was covered in honey. Yeah, it's really sad. So this legend and the movie actually inspired a real life serial killer who called himself the Candyman.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so his name is Dean Corll, and he was known as the Candyman Killer because him and his family owned and operated a candy factory in Houston Heights. And so he was known to give out free candy and then kill people. So
how are they connected?
So none of that is connected. All of those are just legends of people who've called themselves the Candyman. So I tried to look up information on the Candyman who they say might have lit the fire. Absolutely, there is no information on that. So it could be the Candyman serial killer. Could be just a regular Candyman. Could be anybody.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. But apparently he was a criminal named Candyman that they think set the fire.
The way you keep saying Candyman, it's just reminding me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I keep saying Candyman while I'm looking at myself in a mirror, and I just realized that is very bad for me.
Oh no.
So I gotta stop saying that.
But you know that one scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where they go into a candy shop and singing that song?
Of course I know that scene.
Now that scene's just in my head. I had to share with everyone.
Yeah, well, the scene that's in my head is from the Candyman movie. Okay, I have to stop saying his name. Okay. No, we're moving on. I don't want him after me in my sleep tonight. So, back to the hotel. So no, they never figured out what happened, what caused the fire, who, if what, no charges were ever pressed. So, that is just even more sad.
Yeah.
But obviously, after the fire, the hotel was closed to rebuild the insides or figure out what they were going to do with it. In 1967, it was donated to the Georgia Baptist Convention, and it was turned into housing for the elderly for a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, and it lasted a little bit, but it didn't last very long. And then it was sold to a bunch of potential buyers and developers. But the building actually remained gutted for decades because nobody was able to ever follow through. Or they didn't even know what they wanted to do with it. Do we make it a hotel again? Do we make it something else? Don't know. So, in 1996, actually, they used the gutted lobby as a souvenir shop for the 1996 Summer Olympics.
Oh,
which I thought was
crazy.
cool because that's when the Olympics were held in Atlanta. So, that's pretty cool, I guess.
You said in 96?
Yeah.
That's the year I was born.
Ayo, shout out. So after over 2 decades of being empty, a $23 million renovation project began in April of 2006, and that remodel turned the hotel what it is today, the luxury hotel named the Ellis Hotel, and it opened on October 1st of 2007, and that is when the paranormal activity started being reported. So,
Okay.
on to the spooky story. You know we were going to get here at some point.
So, did any of the elderly people, when they were in there, report anything?
No, but, well, maybe, I don't know, because it wasn't open. It was, like, open for, like, literally 2 seconds before it was closed. I don't think it was safe, first of all. Also, not very practical, considering it's, like, a nursing home, and it's, like, tall instead of long. Like, I don't know about the elevator safety, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it just was never going to work for
Right.
a nursing home.
Okay.
But no, I don't know about that. There were no reports, but I think it didn't even stay open for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like when that was a thing. So, but as you can imagine, with all of the tragedy, all of the death, this hotel is very haunted. So there have been many reports of disembodied footsteps and strange odors coming from inside the hotel. The thing that probably freaks me out the most is that people claim to see faces in the windows of the hotel, and these faces are always screaming in horror because they're
geez.
burning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is so scary. And, like, these ghosts aren't, like, evil. They're just, like, the souls of the people who were burned in the fire, but that is still horrifying
Yeah.
to see.
So, they see them from, like, outside of the building?
Yeah. Like, just, or just, like, reflections in the mirror, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, could possibly be behind them or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, guests also say that the elevators will act super weird and, like, open and stay open for, like, a long period of time. Which, that reminds me, have you seen the Cecil Hotel on Netflix?
No.
Savannah.
You
Well,
always ask me if I've seen things. I've not seen
Savannah
any
has
of
seen
these.
nothing. Well, if anybody out there has seen the Cecil Hotel, which is probably every single person other than Savannah,
Oh my god.
or if you know anything about the Elisa Lamb case,
Oh, I know about that.
yeah, okay, well, that's what the Cecil Hotel is. It's like a docuseries on Netflix about it. And they show the video of when Elisa is, like, stuck in the elevator and it's, like, being all weird. It won't close. It'll just, like, keep opening and closing. That's what people report that happened in this hotel. Like, the elevators are just super weird all the time.
Yeah, I've seen the clip of that happening.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, same kind of thing going on here with that. And I said there was a lot of weird smells, but one common smell that guests report smelling is the smell of smoke, which is really sad to me.
Yeah.
And that would also really scare me. Like, if
Oh,
I smelled
definitely.
smoke in a hotel, I would be running so fast.
Mhm.
Also, like, if you knew that hotel burned down and you smelled smoke, like, would you not be freaking out? Because I would. No.
No.
So, okay, this one is super wild and it gives me the chills so bad. So, staff members that work at this hotel have reported that calls will come into the hotel switchboard from unoccupied rooms at 2:48 a.m. and at the same time as these phones are as the phone calls are coming into the switchboard, smoke alarms will go off at 2:48 a.m., which is the precise time that the fire started.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Isn't that so sad? Like, that is so sad to me. Like, it's not even that scary. It's just sad.
Wait, so you said like phone calls come in? So like,
But from unoccupied rooms.
do they pick it up and hear somebody?
No. Just rings. Rings and nobody's there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's crazy. Super scary.
Scary.
Like, if you work there. And most recently, guests have said that they hear running down the halls. So they'll, like, open the door and, like, look and be like, who is running around? And they see, like, a group of people running down the hall. So they, like, follow them and they'll turn a corner and then nobody will be there.
They're trying to get out.
They're trying to get out.
That's
It's literally heartbreaking. Like, these ghosts are not evil. They're just stuck, like, reliving, like, the worst night and the last night of their lives. Like, it's so sad to even think about.
yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah. So, today there is a historical marker outside of the hotel, and it's, like, dedicated to the victims and all the firefighters who fought that day, the fire. But that's pretty much the legend of the Ellis Hotel. But before I ask you, everybody always says, is it just haunted? Or is everybody just saying this because they know what happened? And the response I've saw on every single thing that I have read says, you just have to go stay at the Ellis Hotel and see for yourself. Because people are like, we don't care if you believe it or not. Just go see. Because apparently stuff happens every single day. So, allegedly it's very haunted by these people. So, next trip, question mark? I mean, I'm kind of down.
I feel like
they're not evil.
But it seems like scary. Like, what if it burns down again?
Well, I don't, Savannah, it's up to fire code today.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
It wouldn't be, I mean, like, any hotel would be a risk. You know?
Yeah, that's true. So, I guess I would go.
Because, like, I want to go.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. So, Juju, you better write that one down. He's not in here because I'm not allowing himself to light him on fire again. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
But I just don't get why they changed the name. If everybody knows that's the hotel.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just wanted it to sound more fancy. Because I feel like the Winecoff Hotel sounds so ugly.
Yeah,
like to the Ellis Hotel, because now it's like a very luxurious hotel.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's why.
Yeah.
They did it. So, but yeah, there you have it. I thought that was crazy. I had never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of it either. That's
crazy, but there will be pictures of that hotel on our Instagram too. So go check that out.
Yeah, I want to see it because it's like any other building, it would have the whole thing would have just burned down.
Exactly.
But this one has like the original structure,
like the bones.
So you can so it's actually it was there when it burned down the first time.
Yeah, and I think that plays into like why it's so haunted too, because like the main part of the building is still there. Which is just so crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy. I can't even believe
You know what else is weird? Like, I think if the building wasn't fireproof, like, did the floors fall out?
See, that's what I don't know.
From under them?
I mean, I guess it had to eventually.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, in a normal building, the whole thing would have just collapsed and then that would kill people too.
Yeah.
But that might have saved some people. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know either. Because I don't know, like, how it burned on the middle.
Right. Okay.
Don't know. But either way.
Interesting.
Very tragic. Very tragic. But yeah, so go rate and review us on Apple Podcast.
Yes, and then comment your Venmo so Taylor can send you money.
Yeah. Only if you write us a review, though. And it better be a good one. That's all that I know.
Exactly.
But yeah, go check out our Instagram and our TikTok. Go follow us.
And our YouTube. Go watch our vlog.
Just go watch all of the things. All of the links are in the show notes below. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have for the week.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, guess we'll see you next week.
Okay, cue the music.